Hi guys, and welcome to this video here today on the Introduction to Algebra, a brand new section of the course here for Year 7. And if you are tuning in, it is really good to see you. Have you subscribed yet? No? There's a little doohickey over there for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you are watching on mathsguru.com, welcome. It is really, really good to see you. Now, actually, this video and all others are much better searched for on mathsguru.com. Hopefully, go over there, log in, sign up. It's all free, and we look forward to seeing you there. Now, Introduction to Algebra. Algebra is so important. Believe it or not, it is the foundation for so much maths coming up in later years, outside of Year 7. Problem is, as you can probably see behind me in blue, it says maths is a big fat trick, and it absolutely is. The shame of algebra is that so many people out there find it hard because the language really confuses them. Now, I'm speaking to you in English. You know that. All of these words make sense to you because you've learned those individual words. You understand the context. You know that when I say hello, it's a greeting. Hello. If we do the same with algebra, I promise you, you will gun this stuff. If you learn the words and the peculiarities, I promise you, maths isn't that hard. Maths teachers, sadly, try and make it sound hard. I don't know why. It really frustrates me. But it actually isn't, and we're going to demystify this here and now if you stick with this video. Right, so I always start with the learning for the lesson. That's being shown above. But I need you to know what a pronumeral, a variable, a term, a constant expression, do you know? See, already, your mind is going, because you've probably never met this stuff before. Don't worry about it. By the end of the video, you'll have got these words understood and be able to apply them to questions. So, you know, again, I always start each new video with a bit of a recap of past learning, but we haven't met this stuff before. It might be brand new to you. Some of it you might have done, some of it you won't have done. That's fine. Keep watching till the end of this video. You will be a gum. But again, I come back over and over and over again. Maths is a huge, big fat trick. There is no two ways about it. I'm going to demystify that for you. So let's start simple. Let's start with the first two things we need to know about, and that is an equation and an expression. Right, let's write down. I'm going to do that by example because you're going to look at it and you go, oh, hold on, I know the difference. Right, what is an equation? Well, let's write down something that's an equation. 3x plus 4 equals 6. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is an equation. I'm now going to write down an expression. 3a plus 3b minus 4c plus 6. And I stopped talking there. Do you see the difference between an equation and an expression? All right, this first one here is an equation, so I'm just going to write EQ with a little floaty n, maths shorthand. And this one here is an expression. And what you see is the difference. Yes, I've used different letters. I've got A's, B's, and C's in one of them, and I've got an X and numbers in the other. But actually, the important thing to notice is the difference between an equation and an expression is that equal sign. Okay, so when you see an equals, then you have an equation. Without that equals, you have an expression. Now, in all of those things, you can evaluate stuff. Oh, evaluate, new word. Evaluate. See what I'm doing here? Evaluate. All right, when you're trying to evaluate, you are finding the value of something. The answer will end in a numerical value. Yes! Whether it's an expression or whether an equation, generally speaking, we deal with stuff in exactly the same way. But I don't want to rush things because let's throw some confusing language in. That was the whole point of this, wasn't it? We started with that, you know, learning for today, all that stuff. But we know how to read, so that's the good news. Right, let's have a look. I've got some red text here at the bottom of the screen. And yes, it's explained, but let's do some examples because all of these notes, everything I write at the moment, will be attached to the video for you to download and use in summary books or for your own notes. So let's see, let's come up with 3a plus 4b minus 6c plus 7. So is that an equation or an expression? It is an expression, congratulations. And let's see, right, number one, first confusing word, term. I'm going to tell you that this here is a term. That 3a is a term. A number and a letter, or a number and a group of letters that are all stuck together with kissy kisses, we'll come back to that in a moment, is a term. When we have a plus and a minus, it then stops being a term and we move to the next term. So what do I mean by that? Well, this plus 4b is also a term. Notice I said the